Demand for money, the proper understanding. This piece of Pigułka Ekonomii is slightly different as it is in English, but I hope my Polish listeners would be able to understand, or you can always try to translate it simply into Polish. It's in English because actually I got inspired by one of my MBA students who's a foreigner. Therefore, actually, I'm trying to answer his question, and this is a question about the exam partly, actually. Well, so how about demand for money? Is it unlimited because we want to have more money, or is it limited? And if it's limited, then the question is, all right, so what would be the factors that shape demand for money? If you are tempted to say, yes, demand for money is unlimited because we all want to have more and more money, then you are wrong and you do not really understand the concept of money, and you mistake having money for being rich. Those two things are related, connected, but they are slightly different actually. It's not true that we want to have more and more money. Every time when you buy something, you buy a cup of coffee in a cafe, then you decide that you will have less money. Less money. You will have your coffee, but you will have less money. Every time you spend your money, you decide that you want to have less money. And actually, we do not try to exchange everything that we have, all our possessions, to money, to have it more of it, right? So what we want is probably that we want to be richer and richer. We want to have assets of a greater and greater value. And since we measure value in money, we often mistake assets for money, and they are different, okay? They're not the same things. Actually, the demand for money can be derived from the answer to the question, what do you need money for? And most of us, most often, need money to make transactions. So you need money because you want to make transactions. You can also have this precautionary motive that you want to have some money just in case, right? This is also another reason for having money. If you look at demand for money from this angle, then obviously the interest rate would matter. It would influence your demand for money because actually interest rate is the price for money, right? This is the price for money. So it's like the price for apples has a lot to do with our demand for apples, or quantity demanded to be more precise. The same situation is here. If interest rate is high, then it's better not to keep money, but to have a bank deposit, for instance, because it can give you more benefits in terms of interest rate. If you don't have money and you want to borrow, then if interest rate is high, then the cost will be bigger to you. So you are not that eager to borrow money if interest rate is high. Prices matter. I mean that the higher our prices, the more money you need to perform transactions. Nowadays we have a nice high inflation, right? So prices are growing. So we spend more money in shops. Therefore, we need more money. Income. My student thought that, well, income is not related to demand for money, but it is. The bigger is your income, the more usually you buy. Most goods, remember, are normal goods, which means that if your income grows, you tend to buy more of them. So if your income increases, you buy, generally speaking, you buy more. If you want to buy more, you need more money. The question of money supply is kind of interesting. It's not true that demand for money depends on the supply of money. These are two distinct things, like demand for apples does not depend on supply of apples. But those two are clearly related. One could say, for instance, that if money supply is growing too quickly, then you will have inflation in the economy. And if you have inflation in the economy, then demand for money might be bigger, for instance. Generally speaking, the bigger supply of money, the lower is interest rate. If the interest rate is lower, as we already mentioned, quantity demanded will be bigger. So this is basically it. As you can see, first of all, remember, demand for money is not unlimited. Our greed is unlimited, but demand for money is limited. And it is shaped by prices, by income, and also interest rates would have a lot to do with that. Well, thanks a lot. I hope it made things clear.